Lesson 92. Year of Sadness, Prophet's Household. The death of Khadisha and a list of his children and his subsequent wives. 3 years before Hijrah, immigration, to Al-Madinah, in the same month his uncle Abu Talib died, the mother of the believers and wife of the Prophet, peace be upon him, Khadisha bint Khuwaylid, died as well. The Prophet's grief was immense, since she was his strongest advocate and one of the kindest people to him. He did not take another wife until she died. He often remembered her fondly after her death and prayed for her. She bore him all of his sons except Ibrahim. Their first son was Al-Qasim, who died at a very young age. It is said that he lived until he learnt how to ride a horse. It was after this son that the Prophet, peace be upon him, was called Abdul Qasim. Their second child was Zainab, who married before the beginning of the message. She gave birth to Umama, who married Ali ibn Abu Talib after the death of his wife Fatima az-Zahra. Ruqayya was the third child, who married Uthman ibn Affan, and together they emigrated to Abyssinia. After her death, he married her sister Kulthum in Al-Madinah. After Ruqayya, Kulthum was born, and then Fatima, who married Ali ibn Abu Talib. Fatima gave birth to Al-Hassan and Al-Hussein. Abdullah was then born, who was also called At-Tayyib, in Arabic good, of noble descent, and At-Tahir, Arabic pure, virtuous. His birth was after the message, but he also died young. None of the Prophet's children outlived him, except for Fatima, who lived only 6 months after his death. In the month following the death of Khadisha, the Prophet, peace be upon him, married the Qurayshi woman Sauda. She was one of the earliest believers and had emigrated with her husband to Abyssinia during the second emigration. Shortly after their return, the husband died. Hence the Prophet, peace be upon him, married her. An older woman, she is the wife who gave up her nights with the Prophet, peace be upon him, to her co-wife Aisha a few years after they were married. The Prophet then married Aisha bint Abu Bakr as-Siddiq when she was about 6 or 7 years old. They were wed when she was 9 years old. She was his dearest wife and the most knowledgeable woman in the nation, to the extent that the Prophet's eminent companions used to ask her about religious matters. The revelation never came to the Prophet, peace be upon him, while he was in another woman's bed. Afterwards he married Hafsa bint Umar ibn al-Khattab. He then married Zainab bint Khuzaymah, who died 2 months after their marriage. He then married the Qurayshi woman Salama Hind bint Abu Umayyah. After that he married his cousin Zainab bint Jahsh, who was from the tribe of Banu Asad ibn Khuzaymah. She was the daughter of his paternal aunt Umaymah. He then married Juwayriyah after he freed her. She had been a captive from the tribe of Banu al-Mustalik, and he did this so that the Muslims would follow his example. Consequently, all the Muslims freed the women captives of al-Mustaliq in honor of this marriage. As a result, the entire tribe of Banu al-Mustaliq embraced Islam, and thus Juwayriyah was the most unfortunate woman among her people. Following that, the Prophet, peace be upon him, married Habiba, who was also called Hind or Ramla. Afterwards he married Safiya bin Huyay ibn Akhtab, the chieftain of the tribe of Banu an-Nadir. His last wife was Maymuna, who had been married before to his uncle, the greatest martyr, Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib. She was also the aunt of Abdullah ibn Abbas. The Prophet, peace be upon him, married her in Mecca during the Umrah, small pilgrimage to Mecca, he made in the 7th Hijri year. But they were not wed until he finished his Umrah. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, died, he was married to 9 wives: Aisha, Hafsa, Zainab bint Jahsh, Salama, Safiya, Habiba, Maymuna, Soda, Juwayriyah. The first one who died after him was Zainab bint Jahsh, and the last one was Salama. He also had 4 concubines, including Maria the Coptic, who is the mother of his son Ibrahim, who died in his infancy before weaning. This was in the 10th Hijri year. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had 11 uncles. Only Hamza and Al-Abbas, the youngest ones, were Muslims. All of them except Abu Talib and Az-Zubayr were half-brothers to his father. He also had 6 aunts. Only Safiya, the mother of Az-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, was a Muslim. In addition, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had many male and female slaves, and he set most of them free. Among them was Zayd ibn Haritha, whom he set free and married off to his freed slave Ayman, and she gave birth to Usama ibn Zayd. Many were honored to serve him, including Anas ibn Malik, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Bilal ibn Rabah, and Abu Dharr al-Ghifari. His scribes were Abu Bakr al-Siddiq, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Uthman ibn Affan, Ali ibn Abu Talib, Muawiyah ibn Abu Sufyan, Az-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, Amr ibn al-As, and many others who used to write down the revelations, treaties, and his messages to kings and princes.